Hey, thanks so much for taking the time to watch another episode of Indie Thinker with Reed Huberman. We release a bonus episode like this throughout the week, and then on Monday we have a full episode that we release every week, a brand new episode with a brand new guest. So if you like this content, please do us a huge favor. We're just starting out, so anything that you can do to come alongside of us will really help us. But make sure to like, and then make sure to subscribe too, so that you can be informed when new episodes drop. And then please share this content with other people. If any of this stuff has informed you or maybe even just challenged your thinking, anything that you can do to help us get the word out would really, really help us. So thank you so much. So I want to take just a moment real quick to talk about something that was recently in the news and I think serves really as a broader, bigger backdrop for something that I really think is important to discuss and to have conversations about. And really, that's all I'm after. I don't care about left and right as much as I care about the truth and being honest with each and every one of you. So I think there's room for conversation here around some of these events. So just recently, a couple of stories were released by Fox News. One was about Kamala Harris and her new book, and that it was being distributed to people on the border, kids specifically. And then two, that Biden was contemplating a ban on meat. And both of those stories were absolutely false. And so it caused a reaction from the folks over at CNN.
Just continues. He wants control of your life. He's going to control how much meat you can eat. Can you imagine that?
Now, you may want to laugh this off. As the old saying goes, a lie can travel around the world and back again while the truth is still lacing up its boots. But the lies these days are moving at the speed of light while spreading so much darkness.
Thanks so much for that, Jim. I couldn't agree more. So when media companies have directors like the one I'm about to show you on this hidden camera footage, it should cause outrage because lies deserve to be addressed.
What is it you do?
Technical director. It's one step down from director. It's going to be our focus. Our focus was to get Trump out of office. Without saying it, that's what it was. Trump his hand was shaking or whatever, that he was losing it. He's unfit. We were creating a story there. So that's I think that's probably it. We would always show shots of him jogging, him in aviator shades, and like you paint him as a young geriatric. We were creating a story there that we didn't know anything about. So that's I think that's probably it. Look what we did. We got Trump out. I am 100% going to say it, and I 100% believe it, that if it wasn't for CNN, I don't know that Trump would have got voted out. Our focus was to get Trump out of office, right? Without saying it, that's what it was, right? So our next thing is going to be for climate change awareness.
Do you think it's going to be just like a lot of fear, like climate?
Yeah, fear sells. Fear sells.
So the clip you just saw was released by Project Veritas a while back, and I think it's important to remind you that this is what the most trusted name in news is really up to. I mean, forget Russia. The biggest threat to America is way closer than you think. As shocking as this story is, I am so surprised that it has so quickly moved out of the cycle of the news media. Maybe it's a testament to how quick things are moving these days, but I cannot help but ask, how can we move so quickly from what happened in that video and forget as though it ever happened? And yet, I still see people who will continue to watch these networks and even defend them as though there were no repercussion to the narratives that are being pushed by the media. Is it any wonder then that after a summer of nonstop coverage of systemic police racism, a black woman would react this way to the police when being pulled over by them on a traffic stop?
I pulled you over because
you're a murderer.
Because
yes, I started to record because you're a murderer. You scared me and made me think you were going to murder me.
Okay, well, I'm sorry you feel that way.
Well, that's not just a feeling. You're a murderer.
Okay.
And I'm perfectly legal, and I'm a teacher. So there.
Congratulations.
Murderer. You're a murderer. Here you go, Mexican racist. You're always going to be a Mexican. You'll never be white. You know that, right? You'll never be white, which is what you really want to be.
There you go, dear.
White.
Have a good day.
Listen, I've said it so many times it's almost frustrating. Yes, conversations on the subject are good and should be had. And police reform is good. But I really struggle to understand how we can have substantive, nuanced reflection about these kind of things and about the facts surrounding these cases when the media is emotionally charging everything, and very often with lies. Now, maybe this is just one incident, and maybe it's not fair to suggest that the media should be responsible for this adult woman's reactions, who is a teacher, as you heard. But the only logical option for this kind of response is that this woman is either insane or she was made to believe a lie. Why else would she have such an emotionally charged, irrational response to a simple cop pulling her over? This is not a Fox News thing and not a CNN thing. This is an American thing. My concern is that if the places meant to inform us break down, then our democracy is in jeopardy. And this is exactly what Thomas Jefferson said, and we should listen to our forefathers from the past, whether we like them or not, if what they're saying is true. And he said this: when the people are well informed, they can be trusted with their own government. So what happens when the places that are supposed to inform us are absolutely broken? I'm also concerned with the notion of truth. When a very little bit of truth is wrapped up in a whole bunch of lies, what happens to the moral compass of our nation? So I'm a Christian. I make no bones about it. I talk very openly about it on my podcast and on these kind of videos. So I stand firm on my faith for many reasons. And perhaps the most important reason among them is that if Christians do not stand up for honesty and truth, we will find our world descending into the abyss of Orwellian newspeak, where up is down and no one can tell the difference between light and darkness. We are objectively people of the book. We believe in objective reality. We believe in truth. And brave people, especially in times of darkness, shine the brightest and should shine the light of truth when they have the opportunity to. So I make this video just for one reason. I have a message for everyone watching this. First of all, to just the general public. Because I believe what Thomas Jefferson said, I'm really firm on this. I don't take it lightly what I'm about to say. We do need to be well informed, but we cannot let the legacy media be the ones who are informing us anymore. You know the old saying, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. You'd serve yourself better reading one page in a history book than you would watching an hour of national news TV. And the second thing is to Christians: don't let the truth become trivial in your generation. Isaiah 59 says this, that truth has fallen in the street. Now, for the longest time, I used to think that that just means that truth no longer has social relevance. And I think that that's true. I think that's what that scripture verse means. But it also means this, that the ones who are letting it fall in the street are the ones who think that the truth is pointless, maybe irrelevant, and unneeded. Because what falls in the street? Well, garbage falls in the street, or maybe things fall out of your pocket in the street, or things just fall in the street that you forgot were even there, or weren't paying attention to, or didn't think that was that important, so you didn't notice that it fell out or that it fell on the street. And so, yes, it's talking about society when it says truth has fallen in the street, but it's also talking about me, that I have an obligation not to treat the truth as garbage, that I have an obligation not to treat the truth as just something that's trivial and that it doesn't matter if I lose it, something that should be paid attention to. That's what Isaiah 59 is talking about. Now, I think we've seen instance after instance of the mainstream media, the legacy media, lying to us enough to say that we need to just turn it off. But I do know this: we cannot just rely upon other people to inform us and then neglect the personal responsibility we have to stay informed. This is what Indie Thinker is all about. It's about helping people become informed, thinking for themselves. It doesn't mean that you even listen to me and you accept everything that I say. In fact, don't do that. It simply means this, that you need to be able to hear other perspectives and other people say things, and people who are willing to at least be honest with you and not have an agenda behind the scene other than to just simply discuss these things from as much of an honest perspective as we possibly can. Now, I believe the mainstream media has shown us over and over and over again that they are either not willing or capable of doing that anymore. And therefore, it means that now we must look for information to alternative means. So yes, I'll say, if that's Indie Thinker, please subscribe, share this content with other people. But wherever it is, make sure that you are staying informed and not letting other people do your thinking for you.
Catch new episodes of Indie Thinker with Reed Uberman for free right now by going to YouTube or Spotify or wherever you get your podcasts. Simply type Indie Thinker with Reed Huberman in the search bar and click on my face. Don't forget to like, rate, and subscribe to stay informed when a new episode drops.